How deep are your pockets? Because in the coming months, Portland area voters will be asked to decide on a slew of tax measures.
From a gas tax renewal to a Portland schools bond, money measures are headed to voters on the May and November ballots. Amy Frazier digging deeper tonight into how voters might respond. Amy?
Well, today I met with an assistant professor here at Lewis and Clark College. He says, in general, Portland voters support tax proposals, but will they support all of them? In May, Portland voters will be asked to renew the city's 10-cent per gallon gas tax. First approved by voters in 2016, PBOT uses the tax money to improve streets. It's just one of the tax measures coming to voters in the coming months.
When you have a series of revenue-raising policies all on one ballot, it's possible that that will present some problems for Portland voters. But that being said, they haven't voted down a tax increase in years.
Another potential tax measure on the table, Metro is discussing a local income tax to help the area's homeless population. Later this month, Metro Council will decide whether to ask voters in May to approve a 1% tax on people who make more than $125,000 a year, or couples making $250,000. But it wouldn't be for affordable housing.
There's also services that you need to provide, particularly to those with addiction issues, with mental illness. And so what we're talking about with this measure would be to provide those services.
Portland Public Schools are also asking for money, in part to cover overrun costs from a 2017 bond. That bond is renovating or rebuilding several schools. In November, voters will be asked to continue the existing tax assessment property owners pay under the current bond. I asked Assistant Professor Gaskins if voter tax fatigue is a possibility.
I think that's going to be a big part of it. And I think it's blunted somewhat by the fact that the economy is so good, and so perhaps people are not as acutely aware of their pocketbooks and how these taxes might affect them, that when the economy is good, you may want to raise more revenue to meet some of the goals that you have as a society.